are in listen-only mode.
Hello and welcome to today's European SharePoint Community webinar. My name is Declan and I'm delighted to be joined by Thorbjørn Værp, who will be talking to you about the road to the cloud. Remember to join in the conversation about today's webinar on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is @EuropeanSP and our hashtag is ESPC14. After the webinar we will have questions. Type any questions you have for Thorbjørn in the question pane in the control panel. Some questions will be selected and answered at the end of the presentation. This webinar is being recorded and you will be notified by email when it is available. And now I'm going to pass over to our webinar presenter, Thorbjørn Værp. Hello Thorbjørn.
Hi Declan, thank you very much. So, yes, welcome everybody to the Road to the Cloud, this webinar. Hopefully you hear me loud and clear there. Let me introduce myself, a little bit about me. My name is Thorbjørn Værp. I'm the principal consultant and a regional manager here in the south of Norway, in Kristiansand, for Puzzlepot. We produce smart apps and also do consultants on only SharePoint. You can follow me on my blog there at sharepoint13.net. Please follow me on Twitter at Værp. I've been, I think it's like 21 years now. I started in 93 as an IT pro when internet just came around, and 11 of the last years I've been all SharePoint. I'm a certified trainer and XVC or whatever, Scrum Master and other strange titles. Today's agenda. On ground to a hybrid cloud or the end cloud in 7 fairly easy steps for you to follow. I will demo some of that. Also then I will go back to the PowerPoint using Azure AD for SharePoint authentication and demo that. And wrap up the things at the end of the webinar. All right, let's move to the action. So this is a picture of the server room. Like many of you have seen before. That's the on-ground server room. You have SharePoint hosted in there for internet or some product servers, CRM, HR, customer relationship management, time. Yeah, and a lot more. And of course you also got the like Active Directories and whatever you change, link, etc. But what comes to mind, my first impression, this is like a normal on-ground server room. I will see 7 out of 10 around the clients. It's complex. Too complex. It's dangerous for, well, starting a fire. It's unstable. Look at all those cables running around. Consuming high power. You need to not only get the UPS up and running, but also you need power to cool down all the stuff. So in Puzzlepot we had a meeting. We thought, what do we do with this? And also I got a lot of clients with pretty much, we will not spend a lot of money, a lot of dough on buying more hardware, different scrap just dying there in the server room. Let's use the server room or the square meters for more office space, maybe more employees, and many leads to give easier access to like Visual Studio Online, the collaboration elements. So you need to publish your SharePoint farm a little bit better and a little bit more wider, maybe get some more easy admin there. Administration of that kind of domain or environment is quite complex. There's also a driver step for moving to the cloud with share this with external partners. Getting more cost control, of course. Cisco iOS, it's the job-saving language. So when you modify those firewalls, you need to get up all those switches and the network and the infrastructure. That's not, at least not our day-to-day job. So, of course, Svensson, the only thing he's got on his mind is search. That's a colleague of mine, and I'm quite into let's do things secure, the security inside the server. So these are pretty much the drivers for moving and utilizing the route to the cloud. And also inside the cloud we will see a lot of more functionalities coming and being more adopted and released. The first release often today is in the cloud. I'm thinking on like Power BI in Office 365, etc., etc. So okay, today I think there are only two options. You can do nothing, or you can do like an Office 365 and Azure, or without Azure, but you will see throughout this webinar that Azure is a part of Office 365. So that's what you probably would call a hybrid solution anyways. I try to demystify the hybrid lingo throughout this webinar. Okay, so if you do nothing like in option 1, probably you end up with this kind of a server room with, well, no control on anything. And you can try to fight the cloud as much as you like until you drop that in your cocky uniform and your machine gun, but that will not happen. You're gonna be implemented in the cloud. We see that today with Windows 10, and also inside the Server 2012 R2. There's a lot of things that in the operating system and in the network operating systems you will see the cloud being more and more implemented in the back or in further down in the ISO model of your operating system. So the winner is, ta-da, we always got to do some planning, or we need to jump on the road to the cloud. So like Office and 365 and Azure, that's the only way to go further on from now. So there's a picture here about the data center in Dublin. Well, if you compare that one to like the server room I showed you in the first and the second pictures, I guess this is, well, a little more structured, a little more robust, a little more secure, a little more stable. Well, I got a picture here that's just a measurement about a new numbering called PUE. That's how the consumption of energy. It's, you get the factor of the numbers by dividing the total facility energy divided by the IT equipment energy. This is the actual picture from the Chicago Container Bay in Azure. And a traditional data center hosted by anyone around the globe had a PUE value on If you ask me, that's our environmental trend. I don't know what the PUE is on my own server room, but I guess it's crazy 7 or 8 or something. Something to think about. And also the independent verifications in Office 365 and Azure. Microsoft got the ISO 27001, that's for security, or the IEC 2005 for security. We got the payment card industry, data security standard PCI, the SAS attestations, and also the FISMA Act management. So, well, I don't think my old server room or any of my clients that I have migrated from their on-premises to the cloud somehow could receive all this at all. So that's also a wake-up call for everyone to think about. So that was just a little bit to get us mind set in correct direction. So how do I get there? How do I get to the cloud? That's it's a big question with 7 small steps. Okay, you have some Windows Active Directory. SharePoint farm or SharePoint farms in your on-ground on-premise server room somewhere. Also, you maybe got some Exchange servers. Pretty much you need email. And of course all other apps for getting things done like SAP, AutoCAD payroll, WinTime, MyTime, etc., etc. We might discuss those later, but for now let's focus on good old SharePoint and the road to the cloud for SharePoint. 7 fairly easy steps. First step, create that test environment. Please do create a test environment. That will save you a lot of trouble. Study the guides. You will receive this slide deck afterwards, but all these are hyperlinked to TechNet or nice article or places where you can study the guides, read all the articles on Office 365 deployment, create a test environment, prepare, manage, and on-ramp. So let's notes Azure Active Directory Synchronization Server. Let's call this just DIRSync for now. That's the common name. For that you need a domain joined Windows 2012 auto server. Okay, you can do it in something older if you got no license on something else, but this should be 2008 R2 SP something, and 2012 R2 would have all the prereqs. So it's domain join that one in your domain and clean up your Active Directory. There's IDFix tools to clean it up. I think the version is 106, as you can see there in the screenshot. And it will query your domain, and you get a arrow count, and you can dive into the arrow for duplicate names, for etc. problems you might have in your Windows Active Directory. And it must be 2003 forest functional mode in your forest, your AD forest. That's something. But of course, as I told you at the first step, create the test environment, do all those things in the test environment. This is for the production environment after you've tested it. Okay, after the DIRSync server, as you have installed, then you need to on-ramp. That's actually a hosted wizard inside Office 365. You from your DIRSync 12 server, to do an environmental check of all the credentials, your network, your domains, etc., etc., querying your Windows Active Directory with 0 footprints, doing all kinds of reports and running to it. You're all ready to run DIRSync. Hopefully, when that is all corrected, all duplicate names or some trouble in the routing or some DNS troubles and missing forest level stuff are upgraded, your Active Directory is ready. Then you can run the Azure Active Directory Sync tool. Remember, that's the quota limit there for 50,000 objects. If you need more, if you got more objects inside your Active Directory, it will pop up, the on-ramp will pop up with a message saying you need to create a support case in Office 365 so it can expand your quota limit. What you need, kind of permissions, you need admin permissions on the computer, of course, the domain joined computer. You need access to your company's local AD. You need to be a domain admin, probably global admin, also a schema master inside the schema. And also you have created a cloud service. So you need your company's Microsoft Cloud Service Administrator account. You need that created, you need Office 365 created. Inside the test, of course, in the test environment, you just do a trial for 30 days. So you can do that. You can download the DIRSync bits. That's quite easy. Stop bits transfer. You can just go and download it. So in install it unattended. This can only run on one server. It doesn't say that you cannot get I'll add some technical articles so you can cluster this one server. So where to run it? That's always a question people tend to ask me. Where should I run the DealSync server? You can either run it on premises, or you can run it in an Azure portal. So you need to create an Azure portal and establish the site-to-site VPN. So step one, create the virtual machine and join it to the on-premises domain. That's why you need a site-to-site VPN from your Azure portal down to the on-premises network. And step two, activate Active Directory synchronization. This you must do anyways. Just click it from the GUI inside Office 365 tenant, or you can do that with PowerShell. And then step three, install, configure, and run the DealSync tool. And it will run with also the possibilities today to sync the password hashes up to Office 365 so you can achieve single sign-on or single sign-on. And after the synchronization, then you activate and assign licenses to those users with different plans inside the Office 365 license. So you see, you don't need to assign license to every user that you you sync from your on-premises Active Directory here and onto your Office 365. Assigning licenses is a pretty easy step. You can do it either inside the admin console here in Office 365, or you can do it in PowerShell. And when there's a possibility after you have synchronized all your users, then the SWA of the users are inside Windows Active Directory on the on-premises. But if you deactivate, the source of authority is transferred from the on-premises Active Directory to the cloud. So actually you can deactivate the synchronization no more. When you remove the DealSync server, then all your users must be managed inside the cloud, either in Office 365 or in Azure WAAD. It's the same. There is some articles there. This is a link to a technical article where you can bring it on back to DealSync if you got a second opinion. I will replicate from the on-cloud, reversing the deactivation and getting back to the on-prem. But my suggestion is why not admin your users inside Office 365? So that's just a matter of discussion. Okay. Step 5 is to connect your Office 365 tenant to an Azure portal. Actually, that's quite easy, but a lot of misunderstandings are told inside the world today, because Windows Azure Active Directory, it's the same. Office 365, when you use the DealSync from the on-prem Windows Active Directory, you sync and you enable password sync. You got your user objects inside Office 365. That is a part of Azure, but what you need to do inside the Active Directory of Office 365, actually that is Windows Azure Active Directory connected to your Azure portal. To demystify that task, I will now provide you a step-by-step guide for the next 4 slides, how you connect. This is very easy. Inside your Azure portal, you go to Active Directory and Custom Create. Use existing directory. There's a drop-down box. before you can use existing directory, we need to sign you out and have you sign in again as a global admin of the directory, and that's the global admin inside the Office 365 portal where you have synced your users. So that's the domain admin really, or one of them. I'm ready to be signed out now. And when you sign out, it will pop a logon box to your Office 365. We use your org admin, like I do here. Admin, that's my domain, waarp.com. It's just a lab domain of mine using the password. And pretty much that's a Microsoft account. And then we ask me to use the Værp AD directory with Microsoft Azure. This will make your Microsoft account, waarp@hotmail.com, a global admin of the Værp directory. Actually, we take my Microsoft account that I have in my Azure portal and provide it as a global admin of the Værp directory. So you can now use, I just click continue there, you can now use the Værp directory with Microsoft Azure when you sign in using your Microsoft account, waarp@hotmail.com. That's the account I created the Azure portal in. So just took me some minutes there. Could take up to 10 minutes or more depending on how big is your all the objects that are replicated to via DLSync to the Office 365. From the button, I got like 4 users from my tenant. Probably you will have more. I've done this with companies up to like 15, 25,000. Should be go pretty quick, and it's just attached there. And the Microsoft account that I used for this subscription will be added as a global admin inside the bot. And also, if I log in to Office 365, my admin area, then I will see actually two users. My Microsoft account is added along with my domain account. So, what's next? Step 6 there. Of course, now I can create the SharePoint forms in Azure for a hybrid environment. We got DLSync in place, so my user or the users, they can log in and take advantage of the one people, internets, etc. So Exchange has been transferred onto your Office 365. So now we can create the SharePoint form in Azure. The thing is there, SharePoint, you need Active Directory for SharePoint, of course. You need a SQL Server and the SharePoint form servers, front end and applications. All this hosted in the on-premises SharePoint, and I will move those because those apps I cannot create sandbox solutions or maybe put them inside Office 365. I need a full-blown SharePoint 2013 form inside Azure, so I can shut down all those computers with those different applications hosted inside SharePoint 2013. There's no way I will move them, so I do a new setup of Active Directory inside Azure, new setup of SQL, new setup of the SharePoint form, and I do a DB detach attach, or use ShareGate and other tools to migrate the data from the on-premise farm to the Azure portal farm of SharePoint 2013. Exchange, the SMTP routing, and also the Exchange farm servers. That's probably you will move those to Office 365, and as I told you, I will create a new SharePoint 2013 farm. So I can have the best of both worlds, the best of the PaaS and the EIS here, the platform from Microsoft Azure and the infrastructure as a service as I run firewalls, I run automation services, scale up and down, storage, etc. with a backup restore in a much more robust manner. And I also can choose my way of upgrading the software. Also, I can add more and more stuff and add full trust code solutions there. Not only SharePoint, but also transfer other line of business application. Maybe get a terminal server up and running here in Azure. So this is my hybrid environment. But the internet and the standard social enterprise stuff like YAML, Link, they are in Office 365. Also the end users OneDrive and their offline folders are migrated up to the OneDrive. So SharePoint Online is being utilized and used in Office 365, and SharePoint with the full trust code solutions and the full apps they are running in Azure. Of course, I can go a little bit further and might or might not have the site-to-site VPN. I recommend you got the site-to-site VPN, and also you can maybe trust this domain you create in Azure, so you can data mine the legacy applications. You might have some 16-bit or some legacy apps. You cannot get that one up and running in Microsoft Azure because you only got 2008 R2 servers. So if you got something old or if you got something strange, you can still run them on-premise, and you can data mine from your SharePoint farm inside Azure and back to the on-premise Windows Active Directory and these older legacy applications. So next step there is to connect claims to my Office 365. Because SharePoint 2013 token format for a claim is SAML 1.1, but Azure is SAML 2.0. That's why you need to enable claims, and you actually do that inside your access control service. You can add ADFS 3.0 or some other federated services, but Windows Azure Platform's access control services, that's for free, and it's inside there. It's pretty stable. It will provide you the same sign-on in Office 365 and your local AD. Also, you can federate with others. So as long as they got a Microsoft ID, they will be able to go in. And Facebook, Google, and other authentication providers can also federate with, so you can have your lightning party application. So pretty much what I have done here inside our domain for this is this or timesheets. That's a full code up running on SharePoint 2013 inside Azure. I did a realm, and I also configured the token format. So I do a little bit demo on that one now, and I'll come back to you with more details on the claims and how you access that one later on. So hopefully now you see my desktop. Let's start up the browser. So first of all, this is not a domain joined server, so it's much better to show you the login. So actually what I do here, I'll log in with my organizational account there inside Office 365. Password. Okay, so as I told you on the steps there, so what you have here is now the internet with the internal blogs and news and stuff. So we got our own little app for an internet hosted inside Office 365. I got my OneDrive, so I can go to the OneDrive for business. I got the Jammer, so I can jump inside Jammer, People, Outlook, and of course I got Outlook full client also, so I don't need to go to the Outlook web access, but that's it. Remember this URL, and if I click to did, you will see, let me open that one in a new tab. You see a quick change there. It's a new URL, SharePoint 15, some starting page with a dashboard, and here I got my timesheet application is fully running in Azure. You see what happened? Let me click once more. It goes so fast now. So I'm redirected through the access control service in Azure, going through internet. My computer here is just on the internet. It's not domain join or anything. Certificate published through ACS and application portal, and the SharePoint 2013 portal this is running in claims mode with SharePoint 2013. So in this scenario, I got everything, every good thing. I got the full-blown Office 365 with everything I need there, the internet, or maybe some university stuff, or some HR and other things running inside Office 365, so that is okay. And also got my application, one or more. Yeah, actually we got more applications running inside that SharePoint farm, 2013 full farm in the Azure portal. Awesome. It is. So that was just a quick demo how I use the same sign-on to log on to Office 365, and also with my organizational account I logged on to an application, SharePoint 2013 application hosted in an Azure portal. So really what happened there, the SharePoint users they are requesting from their either on-premises environment, Active Directory, they are requesting a SharePoint farm access inside Azure, one or more farms or one or more applications. And I used SAML 1.1, the VS Federation, that's the SAML, that's the claim standard for the SharePoint farm, to the access control services, the ACS tenant inside my Azure portal. And this is being rerouted to SAML 2.0 VS Federation, that's the standard on Azure. And I had an AD tenant there inside my cloud services where the SharePoint farm, everything up, and the users are granted access. So here's a little bit screenshot from the Active Directory authentication when you're inside the Azure portal. What you got to click and what you need to do is some simple screenshots, and you will see that it's not quite complicated. If this TechNet article will provide you with all the details. So first of all, you need to add an identity provider. You select an identity provider to add to that ACS service namespace. It must be a VS Federation identity provider. Give it a friendly name. That's just display name for this relying party. A real, for those of you who have configured claims to ADFS, you will see the URI there of the realm. It's pretty much the same what you're used to. Return URL is the trust. The URL with SS returns the security token. And the format should be SAML 1.1. And the token lifetime, I think they're set to 600 by default inside your relying party application settings. To increase that amount of token lifetimes from 600 to something a little bit higher, so you're certain that even those coming from your more latency areas where your ISP vendor doesn't provide you with that quite good speed. So token lifetime, I suggest 3600. That's a nice value. So the token is not being dead. Of course, then you name the claim to UPN name claim, and you use that to open. That's a user principal name, so you can map that inside your SharePoint farm. I will not go into details there on the PowerShell script of how you connect the claim. This is not an a claim setup, but it's pretty 1, 2, 3. You need these details and the certificate, and it's the same as you do in ADFS. Then you got your name and real mapped to this URN SharePoint did. Okay, I'm gonna show you a little bit more details there. First of all, let me take a quick run inside the Azure portal. It's a preview. You can just write portal also. So let me log on with my organizational account first. Same log into the Office 365. Now I'm logging into the Azure portal. There are some items. You see we got 6 virtual machines up and running. Some SharePoint, some SQL, some AD, etc., etc. Some storage accounts. Okay. Some networks. And here's the Active Directory, as I told you. See, the users are synchronized and mapped. If I go and manage the access control namespaces, you will get a new sign in, and I sign in with my account from same account as the organizational user account, so I can get inside the ACS. So the 1, 2, 3 step is you click the identity providers, add, and I already did. SDS, let's say these are the apps, valid certificates. And here's, you got the application, the URN, OBC, there. Once more, there we go. As I show you here, your line part the application, that's the display name, that's the realm, that's the SAML, this one. And we just do it for the organizational, only the Windows Azure Active Directory for support organization. You can have Windows Live ID and you can invite others inside there. And finally, rule group. You can customize the rule group, but this rule group then will relate to other applications. We got a gamification up and running called Play. And remember that one you need to create pretty much they are all inside when you generate it. You need to add this UPN. So you map a name claim to the UPN. Pretty much this is how this look. Select the correct type. There's a lot of technical articles on this. And the output claim type to UPN. And that's just the option. So name claim to UPN. How cool. I'll show you a little run book. I call it Power Beast Automation. What you can do in a run book, I was telling you, with the VMs, and you can schedule them up and down, resize them, and pretty much, let's click inside Author. You can use PowerShell inside here, publish the PowerShell, and you actually can like shut down servers. Oh, I don't have any job status match, but you can shut down the servers with automation, shut down servers. You can scale them up and down. I use them a lot also for my clients when I do it. So in the off-peak hours, you can you can downscale your SharePoint farm. Amazing. Okay, I got some PowerShell scripts up and running. Let me see. I'll show you this one. Actually, how quick it is to deploy a new virtual machine for Azure. All these scripts will be provided and even more. I got some. I dropped them inside my OneDrive, so it would be. It's already shared inside the PowerPoint, which you will receive. Let me run the Add Azure account first of all. So I pretty much will do mine. So I don't do anything crazy on the production environment. So I just log on to Windows Azure here. I am with my Microsoft account. There's the password there. Okay. And the next thing after you need signing, you need to get the Azure Publishing Settings file so you can talk to and modify your subscriptions. You see I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 subscriptions up and running, so I need to select one of them. So let me pretty much run select Azure subscription, and I got this is just a demo. The other are for some of my bigger clients, customers. Alright, so here I got my Azure Cloud environment. There's a tenant there. Here's a nice little, of course, if you run this get Azure VM image, you'll get all up there available, even the like from Riverbed, the SQL Server, the VMs for 2009. This is all the VMs that are available, and also some I've uploaded, but pretty much all of them are in there, so I can get all the descriptions and nice stuff. But for your convenience, I have written this little commandlet where I'm looking for the latest and greatest data center of Windows Server 2012 ready for you. Sort object, publish date, descending, select object first. So in this little commandlet I can actually also select it. So if I run this one, it should be running a little bit. Find what type of VM image is ready up there. There's always, it's quite new up there. It's from 28th of October at 8 AM in the morning. I got my data center server. Then I can go on use this. So if I take the GUID from the image name, this GUID here, the VXD file, I can tie this inside the image to use. And I got given it some strange name. This just would be the VM name, the cloud service name. I don't need to run this now. I see we're running out of time for that. That's my virtual net inside Azure. It must be created before. You have a strong password, so change that with your password. The size, standard A2, you can go like up to D13 with the SSD drives. Username, some admin. You need to have a storage account, subnet name, and location. And also tie down here, see the rest of my script. I import my publishing file. I select my subscription name, so you got it there, and joining it all together to a new Azure VM service name, etc., etc. So running this, then you will get a new VM. Take you like 5 minutes. And if you also, that's just to get the VM. If you want a domain, join them. Pretty much you use the same script to tie them all together, but what you need to add there is the domain. That's the Azure domain, and the domain password, same strong password, and the user name for being an admin. Add disks. I will show you that quick. I recommend always adding maximum disk size. Actually, that is quite wrong. It's 23. That's the maximum disk size in gigabyte you can add. Let me show you a little bit on users. You can connect to your Microsoft Online service, get the account scoop for licensing, adding users, and modifying and bulk importing users. I got new AD users, but change it for new MSWL users. So let's try. I think I got the. Come on, let's show you quick and dirty. So username. Here I show you my the. Don't know now the clients there. So password there. Okay. Here we got a little exception. Maybe logging out and in. Demo goes demo. Why? No, I know the wrongness. The admin. Let me be the global admin of the domain. Yes. Aha. I haven't given my Hotmail account a global admin in the organization. So yeah, I can see I got some active units in my school. There's my school ID and there's active units, and probably if we're lucky I can run this and we will get a new user, maybe. True. So let me see the account school again. Consumed units 3 of 3. It's working. God, I love this. We could chat for this forever. Here, I'll show you for each object how you can just use a CSV file either inside your MSL service, or you can just use a new AD user. Just change this PowerShell, and then also, of course, you need to load the PowerShell module for AD. New AD user. Then same account using a given name, description if you like. You don't need to be in the CSV file, but I'm just doing quite everything. There is this one. Password, you need to secure string and do the password at plain text, and you can have the password inside the CSV file to say you need to change your password on logon or not. Okay, that was the PowerShell. Let's jump back to the wrap-up. Always create test environment. As I told you in the first sequence there, test environment. There is a reason for the trial licensing. There is a reason. You will have 30 days trial and also 30 days in Azure, and afterwards you will receive a suggestion, do you want to go on and buy the stuff and connect to your credit cards, and they will consume a lot of your dough. No, in my lab environment I got like 3, 4, 5 users, as I showed you in the Værp.com domain in Office 365. I got a lot of them inside Azure. Got like 20 VMs, but I shut them down. I use for each annually, I spend no more than at the most each year. That's for 2 or 3 terabytes of data. I got my Active Directory always up and running. Also, so it's very low cost to have a test environment up and running. On-ramp the test environment and also on-ramp your dir sync and domain join server, the Windows 2012 server in your on-premise Windows Active Directory, then you're all ready to dir sync all the users up with the password hashes, connect your Office 365 portal to your Azure tenant. So you can create those things in advantage before you on up and dir sync. You can create an Office 365 portal, you can create an Azure tenant and the Office 365 portal you use. And last but not least, if you like, you can use Active Directory, use Azure AD for the SharePoint 2013 authentication with the SAML and the claims, and you can have a full trust code solution with some applications running or inside Azure and more. That's more the platform and the infrastructure as a service there. So what's next? Just on the top of my brain, WAAD Premium for you there and clients and all of you out there with the enterprise agreement and license are cloud ready, and you can also upgrade your Windows Azure Active Directory with a premium version. More to come, like write back password hash to the on-premise Active Directory. Monitoring operational insights is a hyperlink to the Azure Insights. It's getting more and more monitoring. It seems like System Center orchestrating in tune for simple management of devices. More features are coming every day, to be continued. This slide deck is available on the SlideShare. All the scripts I'm running through you, the PowerShell scripts, they are on my OneDrive. Please do some investigation inside my blog. I got some tips there, tips and tricks from the real life scenarios. So we're on the Q&A. Declan, you got some?
Yes, thank you, Thorbjørn, for a great presentation. Just noticed that we had a few audio difficulties during the presentation, so sorry to anyone that experienced that. So we'll just get started with the questions, Thorbjørn. So firstly, It says here, great session, Thorbjørn, but what about the legal questions with moving out to the cloud, for instance, where the data is stored?
Oh, come again. I kind of broke up a little bit. What about what you said again, Declan?
Yeah, so what about the legal question with moving to the cloud, for instance, where the data is stored?
Oh, the legal.
Yes, sorry.
The legal. That's a great question there, Declan. Thank you. The legal question of moving onto the cloud. There is a safe harbor agreement for Europeans countries that says as long as your data is stored inside the North Europe or the West Europe, that's actually in Netherlands, additional data center, you can do a geolocated data there. So there is a safe harbor agreement that Microsoft has done with the European Union, and also the countries outside in Europe there's connected to the European Schengen agreement. That you need a safe harbor, and it's been for public sector. It was 2 years ago. Both Norwegians and other Nordic government have moved from their on-premise to the cloud. And it's not only I'm not only talking about Office 365 and Azure and the Microsoft Enterprise Clouds, but also the Google Cloud stuff. It's been signed, sealed, and approved for the data. So as long as the data are inside your safe harbor, and it's, you know, Declan, and all of you asking the question, it's just another container standing in Europe. When we say the cloud, that's like a buzzword. It's not up there in the sky. Actually, it's just in big container warehouses with hosting the same data. Yeah. Thank you for the question. Hopefully that was the answer.
Okay. Another question
the safe
here.
harbor agreement. Yeah.
Another question here. What will be the cost compared with running a server locally? Do we have some numbers to compare this? Because only if you have the cost, you could make the decision about moving or not.
I love that question. I pretty much should have done some quick demo on that. You find, if you go to your, I think you if you go to Azure.Microsoft, hopefully you can see my screen there. There's a pricing calculator, and the pricing calculator, first of all, it will give you some details, blah 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 blah. You can read until you get, let me see, where's the calculator? As you go, there it is. There it is. What I was looking for was the pricing calculator. Here you got all the detailed pricing information. Of course, if you're on a enterprise agreement with Microsoft on the e-app or some volume licensing, I will guess that you already have a cloud-ready licensing for a lot of things like SharePoint and other line of business. So no upfront cost, pay only for what you use. Also, you can prepay, then you get a pretty big discount. Website, no, we don't want to host that. So pretty much give it a full calculator, and I'll show you how you can run down. And of course you see here's the different virtual machines. Actually the D series, that's a new kind of machine that will coming, I think was published just a month ago from Microsoft. They have a 400 gigabyte SSD disk. They're all super cool for running SQL Server. So if you got the D4 and say, okay, I need one of them, here you see what it will, that will be the price for a month. That's pretty costly. Heavy machine will cost you a lot of 6 figures. But let's go to like an A2 there. That's pretty basic normal machine. And you see one of them, that's the compute hour. So you can slow it down and speed it up according to your need. But if this machine is running 24 hours a day, this will be the full price. And so you can go on. You got Linux, you got a SQL Server, included licensing and all stuff. You got a BizTalk server, also include license, and Oracle, and the services, etc., etc. And locally redundant block blobs, page blobs. So you will see your need of, yeah, pretty much everything. Backup. So if you back up full like a terabyte of data, should be the cost. And at the end of the calculator, when you're all done, you got a quota. And if you prepay this, it pretty much get an offer for 12 months, and in the enterprise agreement it will be sliced to the half. Okay, did that answer your question there?
Yeah, that's perfect. So I think we'll just squeeze in one more question, Thorbjørn. So when building a SharePoint farm in Azure, do you need to create a new AD server? SharePoint can't use the Azure AD already there. What user account is then used to run the SharePoint farm?
So the question is actually, do you need to do an AD server inside Azure? Yes, you need it for a full trust code and a full-blown farm, but you don't need it. There is a VM inside there as a SharePoint VM you can run. Also in preview, I didn't show you, you can, there's actually also, if you're quite new to this, there's a preview portal. If I log into this one, it is in preview. It's a little bit more fancy with live tiles than the other ones. But actually here you will see you can do a SharePoint farm, a full SharePoint farm preview deployment with all the steps necessary for a resource group, and configure your domain, so you can configure everything from here. And just create, and you're ready. You got network, domain control, SQL servers, and everything. There is an image with the SharePoint, but that image is just for testing. It's got its own Active Directory and SQL Server Express inside the VM. This is not for you for a production environment. This is to create the SharePoint farm with a production environment. However, I recommend doing it the old way, creating and labeling, or doing a PowerShell script to create your VNets and your storage accounts, etc. Okay?
Okay.
Hopefully
Perfect.
that wasn't a good answer to the question. Yes?
Yeah, that's perfect. So
Any
thank
more?
you. Nope, that's all for now. So thank you again to Thorbjørn for taking the time today to do this webinar. and thank you all for joining us today. Next up in our webinar series, we'll be joined by Bjorn Rapp on December 9th. We'll be talking about simplifying data discovery and access using Power Query. To register and find out more about this webinar, go to bit.ly/Bjorn Rapp. Goodbye for now, and I hope to see you all soon.